Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome, my friends. My name is Vincenzo, and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Well, I have a second category of, this best of series, end of year. We're reviewing some pens in our collection. We're reviewing some of the pen experiences that we've had in 2023. And we figure we put together a couple of videos and share with you all of these categories that very subjective, but that I enjoyed during the year, and that some of them I discovered, like this particular category, which was the pocket pen. Pocket pens have become popular, and I've reviewed quite a few of them over the year, and figured why not? Let's put together all of the ones that I believe are worthy of mention and do a best of. So I have 12 nominees. In fact, I have, 10, the 10 best, and 2 honorable mentions, if you will. And we'll go through them, number 12, starting with number 12, going down to number 1. And I hope you enjoy this. And some of them have already been reviewed by me in detail, but it's fun to see and compare and to see where they all stand, at least in my heart. And you can share your comments and see if you've got any that you would add to this list or delete from the list. So stay tuned. Okay, we're all ready, set to go. So number 12 in the list of things is this Pen BBS 471. Let me just put it down here for you. Here it is. It's a funny sort of a pen. Initially, I thought it was interesting, but as you get to use it, you realize that there's some the functional nature of this pen is lacking. As you can see, what you can do is unscrew the top, screw it to the bottom, and all of a sudden, you get a nice sized, decent sized pen, actually with a number 6 nib. But the problem is that every time you've got to, because it's unusable without the top. So it's you got to literally, when you want to screw it back in and not use it and put it back in, it's just not usable. Very weird design. Otherwise, which I think is not practical at all at the end of the day, because you've got to post it in order to use it. And the other thing is that it's also really touchy when it comes to filling this pen. The filling mechanism is right here. And you can't see very well. You don't know when you're almost out. You don't have any idea when you're filling, nor when you're consuming the ink. The only, I think, salvageable part of this pen is the Pen BBS pen nibs, which, as we know, can be very, very nice. And this one is very nice, in fact. And at $36, I think it's too pricey. I think it's not worth the $36, but compared to some others that I have in my collection, it's still a worthy mention, just because it's a Pen BBS. Okay, so that's number 12. Next on my list, is number 11, is the Majon Q1. Now, the Majon Q1 is a funny-looking pen, which on its face you would think is completely unusable, but for a large, funny-looking pen, as I mentioned here, it's really comfortable when posted. So when you post this pen, it turns out to be very usable. It's got a number 6 nib, so very nice. It's got that huge, huge reservoir that you can eyedrop, that you need to eyedrop, in fact. And, it's got a bubble of a clip. It's funny looking, and an eye catcher, I'm sure, if you're in a meeting and you take this out, they're going to say, what the hell is that? But in any event, it's pretty comfortable. It's just that I find that it's a weird looking pen. And for me, unfortunately, didn't make the top 10 list. But, the eyedropper gives it a unique look, this transparent model, I find. The nib is extremely smooth, whether you have an extra fine, and it also comes in a medium because it's a Majon. $25, I think it's an excellent value. And It comes in a variety of colors and motifs, which I'm going to put up on the screen. As you could see, you have everything from different colors to solid resins to the transparent model. So that's my number 11, and I figured I'd give it an honorable mention. Okay, so now we'll get into my top 10. And number 10 on my list is my Ongdian M1 pocket pen. And here it is. I know there's an M2 that came out, but because I didn't enjoy fully M1, I hesitated to order M2 because I just figured it's got a little bit of a different design. It's flat topped and flat at both ends. But I think it basically going to give me the same pen. So I did not order that other one. I mean, the design is nice. Very light material. As you can see up on the screen, it comes in 3 colors. Kind of this brushed alloy aluminum. It's got a very slippery section, however, I got to tell you. And it's usable posted and unposted. I mean, you can write with this unposted if you need to. It's a size 5 nib, but it's a juicy number 5 and really writes like a Schmidt nib. So very nice. At $32, I think it's a little pricey. I think you can get better writing instruments at that price. That probably explains why it's number 10 on this list. So that's number 10. Let's see what number 9 gives. Number 9 is something that you guys may not have seen. Not everybody has seen this, but which I think is a really, really cute little writing instrument. It's this Pilot Pluminix. Now, this Pilot Pluminix comes in a larger size, in a regular size, or in this mini size. And you know what? For a plastic acrylic pen, it's got this very nice Pilot nib, and it's got a stub, believe it or not, which is very, very nice. It's an eyedropper. I think you can also use cartridges with that, maybe even a converter if you can find one. But I find this, for $13, I find it a very interesting mini pocket pen. It's a no-frill design, but it's got a unique shape to it. Comes in different colors, all transparent, and it's $13, so it's dirt cheap. So there you have my Pilot. But that nib, I got to tell you, really, really interesting nibs. There you go. That's number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list, I've grown affectionate with this pen, but I just couldn't give it more than number 8 position. And that is this Jinao 82 Mini, which has kind of gone a little bit unnoticed, I think, along with another pen that we'll get to that's on my top 10 list. This beautiful orange resin, I think really, really makes the pen stand out. It's essentially, it's the Sailor, but on the mini side. Got a very nice nib. When you open it up, it's even got a converter. There you go. So it got an O-ring right there. So for a little pen, and that goes for what, maybe $6. I hesitated, but I almost put this pen a lot higher up, but I just couldn't get to it. So really comfortable when it's posted. It's a juicy number 5 nib. It's kind of a needle point, so it's almost like an extra fine. It's a nice design. It's a mini Sailor, let's face it. And it's a useful pocket. I find it's a useful pocket pen because you can, slip it into any journal casing, that has a pen sleeve. And won't take too much of place. It's cartridge converter, and at $6, I think it's an absolute steal. And I believe it also comes in different colors, and if so, I'll put them up on the screen. Okay, so that's my number 8. We're moving along here. My number 7 also may not be known to you, but I reviewed it as part of my Ultim pen collection. And this is what's referred to it. I mean, I put here ADE, but that's wrong. It's EDC. It's an EDC Ultim Pocket Pen that I saw on eBay. I can't give you more than that in terms of a description. It's really a no-name, but a really nice pen. And you know what? For a pocket pen, it's made out of that beautiful Ultim material. And you know what? When you post it, it gives you a nice size. And it's got that beautiful Schmidt nib, which these Schmidt nibs are, I'm telling you, they're surprising me. I'm having just a great time with them. A little bit of a thin section, but you know, it's a pocket pen, right? So I think it's working out really nice, and it's usable, posted and unposted. There you have. It's got a very unique finial. It's got a clip that's, you know, movable. I think it's lightweight. It costs $32. I think it's an excellent value just because of that Ultim material, which is, as we know, a very special material. And look at that. It's got faceted side on that capping and a faceted finial here. I think it's a very, very interesting pen for $30, and especially for a no-name, no-frill sort of a product. So that's number 7. What's number 6? Well, number 6 would probably have made number 1, 2, or 3 had it not been for a particular quirk, and that is the Opus 88 Mini. Take a look at this pen. I think it's an absolutely gorgeous looking pen. It comes in different designs. It's basically an Opus 88 in a mini size. So it has all the features of an Opus 88 with that, you know, that kind of a piston filler that you can open up with the valve so that the ink doesn't go through when you travel, etc., etc., etc. It's got a beautiful Opus 88 number 5 nib. I've got a stub on this one at the present time. It comes in very, very unique designs and all kinds of decorative designing on the both on the cap and on the main barrel. The only problem with this pen, in my view, I mean, it is a little pricey, but is the capping. The capping, they finally resolved it and made it a cappable pen, but look, it just swirls. It just goes round and round and round. And some people, they don't mind that, but when it's on my hand, I find that it just moves too much here, and it bothers me. So I just can't get around it. I just can't get over it. And making this pen just a too bad sort of a proposition, but still high enough to give it a 6th position just because of the rest of the pen, which is just an absolutely really, really nice addition. At $100 to $105, I think it's extremely pricey. So you've got to buy this pen essentially when it's on sale, because otherwise I don't believe that it really is worth that $100 or $105. So there you have my number 6. My number 5, well, my number 5 is a classic. It comes in different designs, as we all know, but I've chosen my favorite, which is the Kaweco Brass Sport edition of this pen. A beautiful brass, nice clip, original. A lot of pens have tried to imitate and copy it. Usable both posted and unposted. It's got even a stub nib if you so wish. It's when postable, it's even more comfortable. It's got just like that perfect heavy pen, if you will. So very, very nice. A very unique design, as we all know. A converter, it can't be posted. The build quality is 10 on 10. The price that I saw for this is about $90 to $93 on Amazon. Again, if you can find it on sale, if you can find it at all, sometimes they're always short. Oh, by the way, that finial is classic. So there you have it. The Kaweco Brass Sport makes my 5th position. That's number 5. So what do we got for number 4? Number 4 may be a surprise. It's, I think, one of these pens that's kind of gone under the radar, and really it's a pity. It's this Kegeloo 316 Mini. Essentially, it's the Kegeloo, or even it's a duofold look-alike, if you will, or copy, but in a mini size. But it has that juicy Kegeloo nib, even though it's a number 6 nib, and number 5 nib. So it's got a number 5 Kegeloo nib that's just as juicy as their number 6 nibs. Very nice. It comes with it comes even with a converter. So it's a cartridge converter pen in a mini size. It does post, although it posts very high, but it does post, and it's comfortable even posted. Otherwise can be used posted or unposted. So I think this is it comes in a variety of colors. I'll put them all up on the screen. Very nice resins, very similar to the original Kegeloo 316s. And at $32, $35, I think it's an excellent value. It's a very nice pocket pen that writes extremely, extremely well with that nib. So my hat's off to Kegeloo. It's made my number 4 on the list. That's my number 4. Okay, what's my number 3? Well, number 3 is a pen that I think is a beautiful pen. It's unfortunately a little too pricey, but it's my Montegrappa Mini, and you can see that it's silver. It's got silver trimmings. The silver needs to be polished, but it's a beautiful 14 karat gold nib, dual toned pen. You can see the silver here is a lot shinier than on the outside because it wasn't exposed. Nice resin, can be used posted or unposted. If you want to post it, it's got this screw-in mechanism so that when you screw it in, it can be used, and it lines up nicely. Sometimes pens that screw in at the top like that don't line up the way this one does, but this one does. This one's a broad, so it's got, look at that thick line, very, very smooth and wet, extremely well built. It's a quality pen. It's part of my collection, but it's a collection piece. Not an everyday writer, I would say to you, just because of the price tag. And I forget how much I paid this, but I bought it, I think, on an auction. But it's almost a vintage. Very nice. I really enjoy this pocket pen. So that's my number 3, Montegrappa. My number 2 has quickly become one of my favorite pens, and that's the Gravitas Ultim Pocket Dropper. Here it is. What a beautifully designed and a beautifully built pen. First of all, it's a pocket pen. It's got that nice, it's got the nice noise, that Ultim material, which is, unique in and of itself. Then it has this black PVD coating with a little bit of rings here so that it doesn't slip, if you will. It's got also a black PVD coated nib. Beautiful number 6 size nib. Writes really well. Posted, especially posted, but can be used unposted. Usable, but obviously more comfortable when posted. The nib is it's a number 6 broad nib, smooth, wet, constant. It's a converter or eyedropper. The price is €105. Sometimes it goes on sale, and when it does, I suggest that you snap it up. I think they have a similar pen in maybe a metal finish, if I'm not mistaken, but I like this Ultim finish. So that's my number 2. It was a toss-up between this one and my number 1, but you'll see that my number 1 for me is a clear winner. So that's my number 2, Gravitas Ultim Pocket Dropper. And drum roll for my number 1. It's a pen that has some history that I bought by mistake, but I don't regret having it now in my collection. It's my Parker Original Duofold Mini. I mean, when I bought this, because I was looking at an auction, it was just photographs. And I saw the price. I said, oh my God, I can get an original duofold with the black classic design for that price. I didn't even look twice. I just bought it, bid for it, won the bid. And then when I got it, I realized I misread the fine print. It's a mini. But you know what? They tell me that this mini is not maybe, hard to find. So I haven't quite looked to see if it's a hard to find pen. But look, folks, this is what can I tell you? It's the original duofold design, okay, that many pens have tried to copy. It's got an 18 karat dual tone nib. This one is it a broad? I believe so. I believe it's a broad. Writes just exquisitely, just an exquisite little pen. It's truly, a collection piece in my view. My only down or negative thing is that I can't find, and I'm not sure there is one that exists. I can't find a converter that fits this pen. I haven't really tried, mind you, because right now I have a cartridge that I keep refilling, and it does the trick. But you know what? It's a solid, classic design, copied by many pens, and it's part of my collection. It's nice and slim. It's nice and meany. It fits very nicely, and you see in terms of size in a second when I show all the pens all at once. Very nice. So that's my number one, the Parker Duofold Mini. And let me just show you all the pens all at once. Let me just back up here so you can take a look at them. And here's my big Majon. And there you have them. So in terms of size, you can tell that the copycat, which is this Kegaloo, is almost identical, okay? But it is amongst the bigger ones. But it's nice and thin. It fits anywhere. It's a pocket pen. And here are my 12 finalists. And in order, number 1, Parker Duofold Mini. Number 2, the Gravitas Ultem Pocket Dropper. Number 3 is my Montegrappa Mini. So there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for the next best of video. I'm putting them up one at a time. They're all coming, and we'll finish with a bang. Trust me, with the most interesting category, in my view, that took some time for me to put together and to think about. So stay tuned, folks. Grazie. Ciao.